Dissociative identity disorder in a nutshell. Kim and the Great Danger. This is Kim. She's been in treatment for severe anxiety, intrusive memories, and suicidal thoughts for quite some time, but still doesn't dare talk to her therapist about the strange sensation she has. The world around her sometimes seems very unreal, as if she's in a movie. She sometimes doubts whether she is really Kim and whether her body is even her own. One moment, she feels completely empty, and the next moment, she is full of conflicting thoughts and despair again. She can also suddenly feel very young and get lost in her own neighborhood. Sometimes she experiences gaps in time in which it seems like things happened very quickly, but actually she doesn't know what happened and why life has become so hard. When the Great Danger first appeared in Kim's life, her innate tendency was to cling to her uncle, the adult who was nearby at the time. But then her uncle himself turned out to be the source of the Great Danger. And she would have been upset if there was any safety and support present, but there was none, and the enormous inner conflict that arose as a result, Kim's young child brain could not handle. And on that day, she distanced herself for the first time, unconsciously and out of necessity. Although part of her wanted to cling to her uncle, another part fantasized that she was just as strong and dangerous. And yet she froze, frozen with fear, and part of her flew like a butterfly out the window. And she also stood from a distance, watching what Kim's uncle was doing with that body. And the next day, little Kim was back in kindergarten, oblivious to what had happened. Fortunately, now that Kim has grown up, the world has become a safer place for her, but the parts inside are still there. They are still trying with all their might to save Kim from the Great Danger, at the expense of each other, at the expense of themselves, and at the expense of Kim. When Kim begins to tell her therapist about her strange experiences, she is eventually diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder, or DID. DID can arise from chronic early childhood trauma, such as sexual abuse or mistreatment. How people with DID function in daily life varies and can vary greatly in different stages of life. This video was produced for This Is Me. For more information, visit www.thisisme.nl.